Ever wondered what it's like to stand on a continent almost entirely covered in ice, a place so remote and extreme it feels like another planet? Today, we're journeying to the bottom of the world, to the coldest, driest, and highest continent on Earth, Antarctica. Forget everything you think you know, because we're about to uncover some of its most mind-blowing secrets. First up, let's talk size. Antarctica is huge. It's bigger than Europe and almost double the size of Australia. About 98% of it is covered by a massive ice sheet that's, on average, over a mile thick. If all that ice were to melt, global sea levels would rise by a staggering 200 feet or 60 meters. Can you even imagine that? It's a truly colossal amount of frozen water. But here's a twist. Despite all that ice, Antarctica is technically a desert. A polar desert, to be precise. It gets so little precipitation, less than 200 millimeters per year in most areas, that it's drier than the Sahara. The air is so cold and dry that snow rarely melts. Instead, it builds up over thousands of years, compressing into the dense ice sheet we see today. Now, who owns Antarctica? The answer is nobody and everybody. Back in 1959, 12 countries signed the Antarctic Treaty, setting the continent aside for peace and science. Today, over 50 nations have joined this agreement. The treaty prohibits military activity, nuclear explosions, and radioactive waste disposal. It's a beautiful example of international cooperation. A whole continent dedicated to research and discovery for the good of all humankind. Because of this treaty, the only people you'll find living in Antarctica are scientists and support staff. There are no permanent residents. Dozens of research stations are scattered across the continent, operated by different countries. In the summer, the population swells to about 5,000 people. But in the brutal winter, when temperatures can plummet to minus 80 degrees Celsius or minus 112 Fahrenheit, only about 1,000 hardy souls remain. These scientists are studying everything from climate change and astronomy to unique life forms that can survive in these extreme conditions. And speaking of life, you might think Antarctica is a barren wasteland, but you'd be wrong. The life here is just different. On land, you won't find any trees or shrubs. The largest land animal is a tiny insect, a flightless midge called the Belgica antarctica, just a few millimeters long. But the real action is in the ocean. The Southern Ocean is teeming with life. The foundation of this rich ecosystem is krill, tiny shrimp-like crustaceans. There are so many krill in the Antarctic that their total weight is more than the total weight of all humans on Earth. Everything eats krill, from fish and seals to penguins and whales. And oh, the penguins! Antarctica is home to several species, including the iconic emperor penguin, the only animal to breed during the harsh Antarctic winter. You might have seen them in documentaries, huddling together for warmth, with the males incubating a single egg on their feet for 2 months in total darkness and freezing winds. They are the ultimate survivalists. Then you have the Adelie penguins, who build their nests from pebbles, and chinstrap penguins, named for the thin black line under their beaks. The seas are also home to magnificent whales, blue whales, the largest animals ever to have lived. Fin whales, humpback whales, and minke whales all migrate to these rich feeding grounds in the summer. You can also find orcas, the apex predators of the Southern Ocean, and let's not forget the seals. Leopard seals, with their reptilian-looking heads, are fearsome hunters. Crab-eater seals, despite their name, actually eat krill. And the enormous southern elephant seals, where males can weigh up to 4,000 kilograms, or nearly 9,000 pounds. Antarctica has some truly surreal landscapes. One of the most bizarre is the McMurdo Dry Valleys. This is a region where the mountains are so high they block the ice from flowing into the valleys. With extremely low humidity and strong winds, it's one of the driest places on the planet. It's so Mars-like that NASA has actually tested equipment there for future missions to the Red Planet. Within these valleys, you can find something that looks like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. Blood Falls. It's a plume of iron oxide-rich saltwater that flows from the tongue of the Taylor Glacier, staining the ice a gruesome red. This brine is from a subglacial lake trapped for millions of years. It's a world without light or oxygen, yet microbes thrive in it, giving scientists a glimpse into how life might exist on other planets. And what's under all that ice? You might be surprised to learn there are over 400 subglacial lakes hidden beneath the ice sheet. The largest is Lake Vostok, which is about the size of Lake Ontario. It's been isolated from the outside world for millions of years. Scientists have drilled into these lakes, hoping to find unique life forms that have evolved in complete isolation. The continent also has an active volcano. Mount Erebus is the southernmost active volcano in the world. It's famous for its persistent lava lake, one of only a few in the world. Imagine a lake of molten rock in the coldest place on Earth. It constantly spews out gases and even crystals that scientists can collect and study. Now, let's talk about the sky. During the winter, Antarctica is plunged into darkness for months. This lack of light pollution, combined with the clean, dry air, makes it one of the best places on Earth for astronomy. Telescopes at the South Pole can peer deep into the universe, studying the cosmic microwave background radiation, the leftover heat from the Big Bang. And of course, there's the Aurora Australis, the Southern Lights. This spectacular light show dances across the polar sky, a breathtaking reward for those who endure the long, dark winter. But this incredible continent is facing a serious threat: climate change. Antarctica is warming, especially the Antarctic Peninsula, which is one of the fastest warming places on the planet. The melting of glaciers and the collapse of ice shelves are contributing to sea level rise. This warming also affects the delicate ecosystem. For instance, the sea ice that krill depend on is shrinking, which in turn impacts the entire food web, from penguins to whales. That's why the scientific research being done there is so critical. By studying the ice cores, which contain trapped air bubbles from hundreds of thousands of years ago, scientists can reconstruct past climate conditions and better predict our future. Antarctica is like a giant frozen archive of Earth's history. Visiting Antarctica is a privilege, and tourism is strictly regulated to minimize environmental impact. Visitors must follow strict guidelines, like not getting too close to wildlife and making sure not to leave anything behind. The goal is to keep this pristine wilderness exactly that pristine. From its immense ice sheet and hidden lakes to its unique wildlife and role as a global scientific laboratory, Antarctica is a continent of superlatives and paradoxes. It's a desert of ice, a land of darkness and light, and a place where life thrives against all odds. It holds clues to our planet's past and warnings for its future. It reminds us of the power of nature and the importance of global cooperation. So, the next time you see a picture of a penguin or an iceberg, remember the vast, complex, and fragile world it comes from. Antarctica isn't just a frozen expanse at the bottom of the globe. It's a vital part of our planet's system, and its fate is deeply connected to our own. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey to the White Continent. If you found this as fascinating as I do, hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the amazing corners of our world. See you next time!